In this video, I'm going to show you some etiquette rules that you break every day without even realizing it. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the Etiquette and Protocol channel. I'm Juliana Santiago, a teacher and etiquette specialist, and in today's video, I'm going to show you some etiquette rules that you break every day and you don't even notice. Simple mistakes, but ones that many people still make. The first mistake people make every day is not standing up to greet someone who arrives. So people, unfortunately, they don't have the habit of standing up to greet others. When you stand up to greet someone, the person feels special. They feel as if they are more important to you. And that creates a very positive feeling about you in them. Not to mention that this also promotes a lot of trust. The person starts to see you as a more confident person, which is very positive for your image. So it's important for us to reinforce these factors. Some people, because they've read it somewhere, maybe in an etiquette book, believe that according to etiquette rules, there's no need for a woman to stand up to greet a man, that she should only stand up to greet another woman. This is related to older etiquette, but etiquette is very much associated with human behavior. So from the moment our society evolves, the needs and changes in behavior also transform. So it's like the etiquette rules, for example, that we used to talk about and mention years ago. Many times they can still apply today, but some of them do get updated, especially after the rise of corporate etiquette. Where the woman is equal, she's there, right? With the man or anyone else who is in that environment. Showing confidence, showing respect for others makes all the difference in building your personal image and your professional image. So this came from corporate etiquette, and today it also applies to social etiquette. It's important for us to emphasize that when you as a woman stand up to greet a man or anyone else, regardless of gender, this shows that you are someone who has self-confidence, who feels secure in that environment. So the image you project will be much more positive if you don't stand up. So it's important for us to emphasize this, okay? And it's also important to emphasize that some etiquette rules change over time. So you as a woman who, for example, have the habit of not standing up to greet a man, it's interesting for you to try to change these practices a little. Of course, if you are a woman who is unable to stand up, or anyone, okay? If you are unable to stand up, if you are not well enough to stand up, if you are pregnant, for example, or have some other kind of disability, of course, that's totally acceptable and there's no need for you to stand up. But in general, everyone should stand up to greet the other person who arrives. Another mistake that people make daily is about sitting posture. People have the habit of sitting in a very wrong way because they just sit however they want, often very relaxed, which doesn't project good posture and a positive image. Also, for you to generate confidence and convey security to other people, there's no good image projection there. When you have a very sloppy posture, not to mention that when you have a very sloppy posture, you just sit any way you want. It can show that you're not really interested in being there in that environment, that you're not really interested in that conversation circle. And that for sure won't be positive for your image. So pay close attention to the way you usually sit. Another mistake that people make every day is not waiting for people to leave the elevator before entering it. Every time you call the elevator, whether it's in your building or a commercial building, in any place that has an elevator, the ideal is to wait a bit to see if someone is going to get out of the elevator. Sometimes you can't see if there are people inside, so wait a little, then take a look. Oh, there's no one. Okay, I'll go in. This is an etiquette rule that in fact is very interesting to teach even to children. So you as an adult watching this video can pass on this etiquette rule so it can be applied, and the little ones can promote it too. Another factor, which is also a mistake people make, is staying on their phone during a conversation. So people have this habit of constantly talking while on their phones, right? Sometimes they're in a group conversation with others and they spend the whole time messing with their phones. Or even just having the phone, like for example, on the table, and then they're constantly checking to see if any notifications come in. The phone beeps and the person immediately looks at it. So this is a very common etiquette mistake that people make a lot, and sometimes they don't even realize that it's actually rude. And still talking about cell phone use, another mistake people make is arriving at events, parties, or any environment. At work, talking and using their cell phone, people often walk in already on their phone, sending voice messages on WhatsApp. One of the main factors that makes someone want to connect with you is how easy you make it for them to be around you. And certainly when you walk into a place talking or using your cell phone, people put up a barrier right then, don't they? Is that barrier created? So people don't feel close to you. They don't feel interested in making any kind of connection. It's like you're distancing yourself from them, you know? And if you like the content I post here, follow the videos, always be present. Don't forget to like this content and subscribe. Your like, your thumbs up, and subscribing to the channel help a lot. It also helps our message reach more people. By the way, if you don't follow me on other social networks, just look for Etiquette e Protocolo, especially on Instagram. I'm answering question boxes every day and sharing a lot of content there, so I'm waiting for you too. Now we're going to talk a little more about mistakes people make every day in a more practical way related to table etiquette, which I know is content you really like. For me, there's a mistake that a lot of people make, which is how to use a cup. Many people really don't know how to use a cup. They don't have this kind of knowledge. And for me, I even grabbed a cup here to show you. Look, we have a saucer, a cup, and a spoon. Many times it's a teaspoon. It's provided, for example, for people who like to stir sugar into their coffee or even to stir sugar into their tea. Of course, especially for coffee lovers, the ideal is not to sweeten the coffee, but we know that this is a common habit for many people. Many people have the habit of adding sweetener or sugar or even a little milk to their coffee or tea. So when you mix it, be careful not to hit the spoon against the cup while stirring. It's very inelegant, it's not nice. And another thing, avoid circular movements. Also, don't stir like this. The ideal is to move the spoon back and forth without touching the edges. Another mistake people make, still talking about table etiquette, is the position of the cutlery when they finish their meal. Many people don't have the knowledge or the habit of placing the cutlery together when they finish eating. This is a way for you to signal to the host or even to the waiter at a restaurant that you have finished. There are some variations and positions for you to place them and signal that you're done, but I'm going to teach you one way. Imagine that your plate is a big clock. The plate is the clock and the cutlery are its hands. The ideal is to place the cutlery at the 20 or 25 minute position, the fork followed by the knife. I have a picture here to show you. There are variations of these positions, but if you place them this way, it will be very clear and people will understand that you have finished. Still talking about table etiquette, another very common mistake is people leaning too much. When you're eating, you should always remember that the food comes to you, not the other way around. Of course, with some foods, leaning a little is more natural, for example, with spaghetti, soup, or even Japanese food. But it's important to maintain good posture when eating any other food. For most foods, you should keep good posture and bring the fork to your mouth. And if you like the content I post here and want to learn more, including learning more about table etiquette, if you don't want to make mistakes and always want to get it right when it comes to good manners, if you want to clear up all your doubts and have a good image projection, I invite you to join my etiquette and good manners training. If you haven't participated in this training yet, which has already been taken by thousands of people around the world, click now on the website below and use the coupon YouTube. If you haven't participated in any training from our school yet, you get a super special discount for your first purchase, for your first course. I will be very happy to welcome you. In this training, you will get a general and complete understanding of good etiquette practices and proper behavior, and also about projecting your image in a positive, confident, and secure way. We'll also talk about the mistakes people make every day. We can't forget to mention people who arrive late. Especially in Brazil, it's very common for people to arrive late. Unfortunately, people don't have the habit of arriving at the scheduled time. This is a very strong cultural factor in our country, but it's important for us to change that. Because if someone schedules a party for 2 in the afternoon, they want their guests to arrive on time. Many times she hired a catering service, hired people to serve, for example, at a bigger party, and she's really hosting that event, but the guests aren't there. So it's not polite to arrive late. Of course, if you need to arrive late and can't make it at the scheduled time, let them know in advance what time you'll be there. Another etiquette rule that you break daily, especially in the case of women who love makeup, is the issue of leaving marks. Let's put it this way, your glasses, cups, and mugs with your lipstick on them. Many people, when they pick up the cup again, I'll show you, are going to drink something. They have a habit of drinking from a different spot each time, and then what happens? The glass or the cup, like the one I'm showing you here, ends up covered in marks. That's not good. It doesn't look nice. There, your glass, your cup, your mug, they all get dirty and it makes you lose a lot of your elegance. And then you might ask me, Ju, what else makes you lose your elegance? Well, I've already made a video here on the channel and I'll leave it here on the side for you to watch next. With things that make you lose your elegance, I'll stop here. Thank you so much for watching this video and see you next time.